Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Friday, the 1st of August. So we've had the monthly close. We're going to have a look at some stuff very quickly. Um, Boy, so longs have massively increased on this down move. I think yeah, it's looking like we're potentially going to get a slightly bigger move down to 111, 112. I've been talking about 111, 112 quite extensively for the last like couple of weeks anyway. So um, yeah, well, I don't think the dump is going to stop anytime soon. There is potential bearish retest that we can do at 116.5, and if we get back up to the node at 118k again, that's also going to be a short for me as well. I'm already short from 19.5 anyway, so all good. In terms of liquidity, I think we're very close to the 113.5 stuff that we talked about. So I think if we take that sort of stuff, yeah, very locally here, we might get a little bit of a bounce, maybe to 116k, maybe to 116.5. Uh, but then, yeah, shorts are definitely on the table right now, especially with longs increasing. We're at 57.4% long at the moment, so yeah. And I have been stopped out on a few of my trades as well. Some of them are still running. Yo, what's up, Plumbus? Plumbu? How's it going, bro? Yeah, I have been stopped out on a few of my trades. I am still in a few of my trades as well. But yeah, it's like, for example, like injective. Actually, let's just look at Bitcoin and ETH first. So Bitcoin, we made a new low. We've actually closed a new low. Ever since we did this bearish retest, to be honest, at 119 and didn't get above 119, it was looking pretty bearish. Can everyone just tell me? I think the stream's fine. But yeah, as you guys know, I was short from here, from 119.5. Just as a hedge. It actually started out just as a hedge because of this new low. Because of this low, I hedged here just in case we did get the breakdown towards 111, 112. And we have got that. So yeah, it looks like that's what we want. Longs are increasing. We've also got the daily open and the August open now, which is sitting at 116k. So there's potential areas where we could bearishly retest if we do get a short-term bounce, but it looks like it just wants to go down, to be honest, as of right now. Which is why the trades that I'm not in, the trades that have been stopped out, I'm actually just waiting. I'm not trying to re-enter just yet. I'm gonna wait for the weekend to play out, and then we'll see what happens on Monday. Um, so yeah, that's Bitcoin. ETH also, it was looking quite good. It still is not looking too bad. We have lost December as well as August, so basically, yeah, we could come down to support and get a little bit of a bounce, but then your mate basically, if we close a 4 hour candle below there, we're potentially looking for a bearish retest now. Anyway, here, this ICOS is going down so well, it's making me talk a bit weird. But yeah, so um, ooh, Fartcoin, I'm still gonna accumulate this, but the trade that I was in from 10, where was it? I was in from about 105. I think I've been stopped out on that now. I'm basically just gonna try again around the yearly open and 90 cent. My other trade, which is from all the way back here, about 9.5, I'm gonna stay in it because it's on 3x cross. That's on my hyperliquid, and I'm gonna accumulate more in this area. But for like a isolated trade, I'm gonna try again around here. Because it's done already. I really want another one. Let me just throw this away. I'll have another one in a second. But yeah, that's also been stopped. We are bull divvying and we are going to be back in the accumulation zone. So yeah, I am going to try and accumulate a little bit more, but I am just going to wait again for the weekend to just play out. If we get some wicks down into like 90 cents, then that will also be quite nice. It's looking, it's looking a bit, it's looking a bit scary right now, but I'm not going to be scared to accumulate more of this, especially on the 86 around February. We've got the yearly open as well. I'm expecting us to get a bounce anywhere in between now on Filecoin. It's grand. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. We're just getting a bit of a dump, and also the alts also dumped way before Bitcoin and ETH. Now we're just getting the Bitcoin and ETH retrace. I expect us to go hit 111, 112. So that's why I'm just gonna wait for the time being. Just let everything play out. My short, I'm going to take profit around 112k. I hope we do just get that. I hope over the weekend we just get or on Monday we just get we just get a fast dump, and then we can just talk about getting a bounce and maybe doing some structure. But yeah, we have seen the breakdown. It still looks fine on the daily as well. We're just going to come down and retest the previous high, which was always on the cards, which is why we hedged short. Same with ETH on the daily. I mean, it still looks fine. I mean, there is a potential Stuba long from there to there, which we probably are in around now. But I'm not gonna rush into any positions like that. Excuse me. Popcat. Again, let me just clean up some of this. I'm actually gonna just take this off for now. So Popcat again, I've had a long-term trade on from like 0.28, which is literally this low. We are in the Stuba pocket right now on the daily, so it is potentially still looking okay. As we have come down to the A86 and the Q2. So yeah, that was maybe the one more that we were talking about yesterday. We did get the initial bounce off the 786, but it was very, very short-lived. We basically just bearishly retest here. We didn't get above this, and we didn't hold the daily open. We actually bearishly retest. Look, we can even go and just talk about it. So take that off. We didn't close the candle above here. Let me just put a ray on, which is what we wanted to see for more upside. We didn't close the candle above there, and then we didn't hold this daily open. We actually came all the way back down and retest, and then bearishly retested this. So yeah, this is the one more, and to be honest, like we are in the buy zone on this, but I just want to wait to see if Bitcoin is going to do 111, 112, and that might mean that Popcat comes all the way back down into here and then does something like that. Which is why I'm not gonna long it just now. I'm actually just gonna wait. I want to just wait. But yeah, it's I mean, anyone who was asking for retraces back when we were all the way up here, this is your opportunity, especially on spot, especially if you want to get some low leverage stuff. You know, you can set some orders in here. I literally longed this area back in the start of July, so I'm gonna long it again. But right now, I just want to let everything just play out. Maybe just to get what Bitcoin's gonna do 112 and stuff like that. Again, this is in the buy zone. I'm just going to wait. I'm going to set some orders around Feb, around 90 cents. Hopefully we hit the yearly opener in there, and I'm going to try and catch something else. Hype, it's coming back down. It's coming down into the buy zone. I'm probably getting hit on a few orders in between here that I've just had set for a while. And yeah, we did the bet. Like yesterday, if you saw these two candles not get above the weekly open, then yeah, you're obviously expecting some sort of dump. We actually got a massive 4-hour candle down. Was that when I was, yeah, kind of when I was asleep, or not really on the charts? But yeah, we might get a short-term bounce, but I'm not looking to long this just yet. I mean, I am probably scaling into something in between the 786 and the 886, but it's on low leverage and it's slightly longer time frame. But yeah, this could definitely come all the way down to 36 as well, and then do something like that. If Bitcoin decides to go a little bit lower. Sui, yeah, I was in my trade on Sui yesterday. It actually did really well initially, but since has actually failed. So we're gonna take this off, and I've been stopped out probably around 3.6, 3.59, and we look like we're failing. So I'm not gonna not going to make any movements on here until we probably hit 3.3, the bottom of this swing now. Even if we get a short-term bounce, you know, you're looking to this potentially just to do one more, especially if Bitcoin wants to go all the way down to 111, 112, which we are nearly there, but I think it's going to do a little bit. It's just going to do a little bit more, hopefully, over the weekend. Hopefully, it's actually really fast as well. We don't want to do any, like, grindy up, like, grindy stuff. Like, nah, I'm not feeling that sort of stuff. But yeah, that's been stopped. Injective, again, also been stopped. So I'm not in that. I'm going to try get a little bit lower now. We did obviously initially get a nice bounce, so I think I was in from quite low down, you know. I had orders all the way down to 3.1, which literally got hit on this wick. So we did do a 10% pump after that, and then now we've just seen a dump. So chilling. I'm expecting Injective to go back to June. 12.12 to 12.1 is just going to be an area of interest for me now on this. And I'm going to actually just take this off now to potentially get a bounce from June. But it might be short-lived, and we might just do that, and then come back down even further. Where even if we do come back down all the way to here, there's going to be a daily bullish Stuber around the Q3. The A86 is going to come in around the Q3 as well. So yeah, that's me. There's definitely a potential bounce trade on the 4 hour just from this June low here, but don't think it's going to make a new high. It's just going to potentially be something like that, which is still a 10% move. So if you're down to take something like that, feel free. I do think we might get a little something on June in this support zone just initially. So a little bit more bounce up. Maybe we might get rejected from there. August on the first go. And we might even come back down into this Q3 and this like giga buy zone. But yeah, we always did talk about having like a quite slow August as well, and then maybe it will pick up again in September. And yeah, that's kind of what's happening right now. Again, Tower's actually coming back down into the buy zone. I did talk about maybe if this goes back down to like 340, potentially for being a good buy. I think 330, if you like this project, is potentially an area to accumulate more in between 330 and 320. What we don't want to do, okay, on all these alts, let me just turn off all these indicators, is close candles below here. Then it starts to look really, really, really bad. But until we do then, I'm still bullish on the market. I think this is gonna definitely get a bounce at 330. So yeah, again, that's another thing that's potentially looking quite good. I'm definitely gonna try again and get something lower. I just want Bitcoin to just go and hit 111, 112. But yeah, the long to short ratio is also slightly sketching me out as well. We don't like to see all the longs coming back in. But yeah, what else do we talk about? I mean, I've probably been stop lost on a lot of this sort of stuff that I was filled on. So again, yeah. Yeah, I probably got stopped. I mean, I'll probably try again maybe at 5.2. But for now, I kind of want this to come back down into super oversold area and maybe get like a nice wick and then a close above the Q3. But yeah, let's just look at all of these in hindsight and just be like on the retail stablecoin demand, you can see that when the change on the daily happens, it almost always marks the top. So here we got the change in direction, but we hadn't lost any levels until we did this massive daily, actually this daily candle to be honest, because we were holding that 618 quite nicely. So there, we also got the bearish div on the daily. For example, just even on here, that's also signaled exactly the top hype. I mean, you could do this on anything. Hype's at probably a little bit of a different one. Injective, we got it there. We actually got one more. Popcat probably topped out here. Yeah, literally. So the retail stablecoin on demand on the daily is very, very, very good, and it has a high hit rate of uh, calling tops and bottoms, especially if you get it paired with the oscillator on the daily as well. And even the combination bands came in there. So in hindsight, obviously it looks like yeah, that was the top now, but yeah, once we do get a bottom on the retail stablecoin demand, it's going to be time to look the other way, especially on the daily time frame. Hi Jack, how you been? I've been quite good. I've actually taken a few stops on this way down, but it was worth it. It was worth the play. Also, some of my positions, even like Suya and Hype, I actually got decent bounces on them. It bounced like 9-10%, so I can't even complain really. Yeah, I can't complain on those. Even on Moodeng stuff like that, they actually had decent like 5-10% bounces, um, and then just failed really badly here. It's like the perfect underside retest here. Look, you can see it, bang, and then you're expecting this to hold. So stop there, take profit, and then you'll just chill. And we've actually got the breakdown now because Bitcoin's going for 111, 112. But yeah, my hedge Bitcoin short is hopefully gonna pay for most of my stops, and then I did take a little bit of profit on injective and Sui positions, so I'm kind of protected, but I'm also like looking at some of my other stops on chill guy and stuff like that. Like yeah, bye, yeah, bye. I mean, not great. Like this on 3x, yeah, like looking at like 12-15%, which is kind of quite dear, a little bit more risk than I should have really taken on. But anyway, that's the game we play, and we'll try it again at the lows, which we can hopefully hold on the daily time frame. But yeah, I'm potentially just going to chill for this weekend. I mean, this is in the buy zone. It's in the Giga right here. We've literally hit at 5.2. So yeah, I just think Bitcoin maybe has a little bit more to go. Maybe. Again, yeah, ETH in the resistance as well. So yeah, some of these alts they're in really really nice buy zones right now. It's a tiny bit confusing because a lot of these alts are in really good buy zones, especially like on the daily time frame. So we looked at like Popcat, Chill Guy, like some of these things. But Bitcoin can definitely dump a bit more, which is making me hold my horses a little bit just for now. I would I would rather have a little bit of more confirmation first, and I definitely think Bitcoin is going to do a little bit more, especially with all the longs in the market. Everyone's longing this down move, so we need to squeeze them out first. But anyway, ETH Bitcoin, as long as it holds above 3.0, is going to be fine for alts in general for the rest of the year. ETH still obviously hasn't actually broken down, so again, there is a lot of potential in the market as of right now. I was tempted to go in the last couple of days, but didn't because of daily. Yeah, fair. I mean, I did catch decent bounces, and I actually had nice entries on some of my things, so they did nice bounces. But yeah, I could see a dump to 114k before New York Open, and then pump back to the high after the Open. Yeah, and by the high, I think the high for now is just going to be in between 116.5 and 116, probably 116, and that also comes in around the new daily in August. So maybe just an initial pump up here and then another rejection. Now I really want to see 112 hit for my Bitcoin short, and then I can take profit on that, and then just see what's happening with alts, what's holding nice, what's in buy zones, what's in daily AA6s, what's regaining. Because right now it's just like you might be jumping the gun a little bit. But yeah, there are some things I feel quite confident in accumulating more of. So like hype, 38.5, 39, fine. I'm gonna try and accumulate more. Filecoin's really at the buy zone right now. So if this gets back down to 90 cents, I'm gonna buy some more. Obviously on low leverage. You can also do spot buys as well in between 9.4 and 8.9 really. That's also fine. But with the other alts, I'm gonna just try and hold off a little bit. Because Filecoin and Hype are just things I'm accumulating no matter what. When they're in the buy zone, it's fine. I'm also on low leverage. I'm also just completely fine with holding positions. If we start obviously doing something nasty like this and then like bearishly retesting, I'll get out of them. But as of right now, still looking to accumulate more. But yeah, so like, what's also happening with some of my other trades, because I haven't really looked that much. So for example, like Turbo, I'm probably still in this. My stop's probably just below the 886. I'm probably still in this. Again, you got a naughty test of the weekly open here. And I did say that this is what we wanted to get above. If we didn't get above that, it's going to be resistance. We need to hold something like this. We didn't hold it. We also didn't hold this. So now, yeah, it's just looking a little bit worse for wear. But yeah, definitely little bit of indecision in the market because a lot of these are in buy zones and they're also, this is going to bull div again. Look here. We're getting back down into the nice area of the retail stablecoin demand as well. It's just if everything's going to dump a little bit more with Bitcoin, which I kind of assume it is, if this does that, then they're all going to go to their lows, and I'll just try again. Again, if we get the bounce here, fine. Like, it's also okay. But yeah, Dodge has come back down to 2.0, which we were talking about. Potentially holding here in between there and there. So that's another one that could potentially look quite interesting. But as of right now, I do just want to kind of let the dust settle a little bit. Potentially some decent things lining up though. What's everyone else looking at to long? Because I'm only in a Bitcoin short, so hopefully that's going to cover me, and hopefully we do just hit 112 really quickly, and then start seeing a nice little bit of a bounce. ETH Bitcoin still looks fine. I haven't actually checked Bitcoin DOM. Obviously, we're getting a bit of an uptick. We're actually breaking some structure to the upside, which is interesting. On this daily candle here, so that might pump up a little bit more. Let me just check ETH Bitcoin on the daily again. I mean, it just looks fine as of right now. At least that's holding. Yeah, what else were we looking at? So like yeah, that's actually dumped pretty badly. That's gonna go and hit 158 at least. This isn't a good chart. Per 2. Oh, that's actually probably gonna hit a little bit lower now. 1.4, 1.43, which is where I'm gonna try again now. 1.4, 1.41, 1.42 is where I'm gonna try again on per, because this is definitely a nice. This is a break of structure for sure. if we get a bounce, there's even some potential shorts on the table in between here and here now. But yeah, still potentially bullish on the market when we come down and test here. But for now, in the short term, I think we're going to get a little bit more, like one more push down. Why is Infinio pumping? Oh, this thing died, didn't it? That was not a good investment. But yeah, everything on the daily, if you just zoom out on the daily, we hit resistance, which we were all talking about, to be honest, in the last 2 weeks. We hit resistance. We did some bearish retests in the last couple of days, and now we're just seeing the dump. Potentially, you just want to map out levels where you want to try again, where there's nice risk, where the risk is fine, and then we'll see what happens with the rest of the market and Bitcoin. MPC is one that I want to accumulate more of on spot. I do have a spot bag, probably around 1.3 or 1.4, somewhere in here. I bought a little bit, and so if we come back down to 1.6, 1.5, I'm gonna buy some more on spot. Again, this also has the potential to hold here because this is untested on the daily as well. But yeah, I don't know. We might see some larger retraces in the market, especially if those longs keep increasing. So yeah, that's that. Not great, but for example, things like Sui and Injective that I tried to long, they are bull diving massively. So I think these are probably going to get nice bounces when they hit um their swing lows from the previous swings from sort of like start to mid July. Again, Injective has one here. We bottomed on the 15th. This is probably going to get a bounce when it comes back down to June, up to here. But we might see larger retraces towards like the daily lows from the start of July. And that will be, again, on Sui, that will probably be 3 to 2.8 in there. So bounce, maybe rejection, maybe a little bit more. But the bounce is coming soon. And I'm still bullish on the market. That's the general gist. Luckily, I took like 10% of my Injective and my Sui trades, so those are going to be break even on me. Some of my other ones, like I think I got stopped out of Chill Guy. Those are quite bad losses for me. But because I've hedged 119.5 on Bitcoin, that should, if we hit 112, pay for me, which is why I'm not going to jump in just right now, because I'm just risking just giving everything back to the market, and I just don't want to do that. I want to wait for a bit more confirmation. So I should be mostly protected, even though I did try long yesterday. Not coin and virtual. Yeah, let's have a look at these. Not coin. Not coin. This. So again, I'm just gonna put this on. This is actually holding This is actually holding decently. You don't want to close candles below like 1.7, 1.8. Then it starts to look really bad. The Q3 is a good level to potentially accumulate more on if we get back down to the Q3. So 1.8 on not coin. If you start doing stuff underneath the structure from sort of the beginning of July, it's going to start looking really bad. But for now, I think just let the dust settle and hopefully let this grind back down into support, and then you could potentially try to long this. Again, this did see an initial bounce, so some altcoins, when I did long them yesterday, they did see nice bounces of like 10, 12%. So I can't be too upset. I can't be too upset at all. Not coin virtual. What's this? Yeah, we lost support actually on the Wednesday close. So if you're looking at this daily candle, this one on oh, a fly just flew at me. This one on Wednesday was the break. To be fair, the Tuesday one wasn't that good, but we still were holding the low ever so slightly. Um, and yeah, this is just going to do a larger retrace now. There's potential for a bounce in here around March. You've also got that. So there's a potential for a bounce here up to this sort of structure. But again, if you go on the 4 hour, making new lows, so you're potentially looking to short that bounce. Something like, if that happens here. But I wouldn't short. I wouldn't short this. I don't know what it is, and I don't know what the market cap of it, and I don't even know if you could leverage trade it. So if you're looking to accumulate it, you maybe just want to wait for a full retrace. Or if you really want to get some, so say you've been waiting to get some all the way up here, you've been waiting for a dump. This is pretty much it. You can start here. You might get a sort of hold in between there and there. But I don't really know what this is. Definitely potential. Definitely potential. But yeah, is anyone else looking at anything interesting? Uh, we did look at VRA yesterday. VRA and VVV, didn't we? Yeah, so I was talking about potentially. This hasn't really got that much of a retrace yet, but I mean, you're looking for this to at least come down to June and then Q2 and then here, and where you could accumulate more. This is actually holding quite well compared to a lot of other things, where you could definitely see holds in between June and the Q2 on the daily time frame. But anyway, like if you're just looking at some of these alts, just go to the daily time frame and be like, okay, this is not a bearish. This is not a bearish retrace. This is a mega bullish retrace. So don't shoot yourself in the foot with trying to like snipe some crazy 10x entries and then you get stopped out and you miss the fucking pump. Just take your time and go on low leverage. Because if you ladder in on low leverage, you can take your time building a position. Especially if you don't blow your whole fucking stack in one go. Which is what I'm doing with Farcon and Hype, which is why I'm not really scared with those two. But obviously, I'm not going to do it with every single coin. Like, you need to have stops on some things, and then just let it play out and try again. So, like, for example, like, what's happening on Moodang? Because I don't even know. I haven't even checked some of these, some of my. Yeah, it's coming down. It's coming down into the buy zone. It looks like it's trying to bull div as well on the 4 hour. I think we just do have a little bit more to go, so I would be a bit cautious about jumping in now. If we get down to the 86 on some of these dailies, that's when you can start to be like, okay, I'm gonna start taking a nibble. But right now, I just exercise a bit of caution until Bitcoin hits the previous all-time high of 112. If you want to do bounce trades, that's fine. For example, like I've said on Injective and Sui, just know that that's what it is, and make sure you're de-risking and stuff like that. But yeah, it's still looking fine. We're all good. Again, Injective's breaking down. I'm not going to try again until we do that. This is going to go down here. This is either going to bounce and come back down, or it's going to come back down now, and then I might try for a little bounce trade there. and then we can talk about either bearishly retesting some stuff up here or regaining some structure. But I definitely think maybe the full daily stuff is on the cards now, which would still be bullish for me. I'm still fine with that. But yeah, nothing to panic about. We're just getting the retrace. We always thought it was going to happen anyway. And yeah, I'm going to get another IQOS because I like my nicotine. Actually, should I? I'm actually on something called Glow now. The Glow Hyper Lucky Strikes. Does anyone know about it? How much nicotine's in this? I can't read Japanese. Made under the authority of British American Tobacco. 5.4 grams. Is that a lot of nicotine, guys? Probably pretty decent. Definitely gets my head a little bit lightheaded. But yeah, I've got about 5 more minutes, so does anyone have anything they want me to look at, or should I just leave you guys with the most probable trade setups? And obviously, I think maybe during this weekend, just chill until Monday. I definitely want to see what one more push in the market down before I start nibbling again. Like even if that's just down to there, uh, definitely want to see down to here on Bitcoin. ETH's actually holding really like ETH's actually holding, which is quite funny as well. Which is why I'm not scared to try again. But yeah, again, Popcat's probably bull diving. Might get a little bounce. But yeah, this again, all these daily lows and these 4 hour lows from the first week of July, they're just giga long zones for me, in my opinion. Like there. I mean, Doge is actually holding quite well. Fartcoin, we're already there. We're already in. I mean, it's quite hard to see. Sui's actually quite low down. That's got a lot of structure. Tau, we're there. We're pretty much nearly there. Injective is quite similar to Sui. We've got some structure from there, which might see a bounce. But again, this is the Giga log zone down here. But yeah, it's all good. We're all fine. We're all dandy. Everything's chill. We're gonna get some nice entries soon. And yeah. You don't think we'll have a small bounce soon when the CME is filled? Yeah, but I think it's just going to be a bearish retest at this point. Which is why I did outline, so for example, bit of lag. Injective, I think this is going to be a good bounce trade on this low. So 12, 12.1, around there. This is also June, this is also support when it loads. I'll just put that on. 12.1, injective. Literally on the June level, okay? So I don't even need to mark that. I think that's going to be a decent bounce. Again, watch out for the bearish retest here. Something like that. I think that's a good bounce trade. Sui is looking the same. They're trading very similar right now at the same time. Again, we've got the low here. Potentially a little bit of a bounce. We might even squeeze up into the August to bearishly retest that. That's also the previous low that we put in here, which led us to the new high. So definitely an area of interest around the daily open in August for a bearish retest. But yeah, I definitely think there are some bounce trades on from this low and the injective as well. What? Not replay. I don't want replay. And then Yeah, what the CME is at 114, isn't it, on Bitcoin? So we might see something like this and then bounce, and then I think it's just gonna go bang. I really want to hit 111, 112. Dump my short. ETH just bounced off the 786. Not that. I don't want that chart. I reckon my Coinbase chart is probably. Oh, my Coinbase chart is not free. Definitely Bitstamp has nothing on. So you're probably looking at. Yeah. Yeah, I hear it. This is also. This, like, the technicals on this don't look that bad. Because this is. Is that bull diving? That might be bull diving. If this wicks up and closes above. Like three, like here, this band's going to go straight and you're going to see a bounce up to there at least. So there's definitely a bit of bounce opportunity here on the cards. ETH is actually holding as well. This hasn't broke any lows from there. So yeah, definitely some bounce opportunity uh, on ETH, Injective, Sui, some of the other coins maybe as well. Even Fartcoin is probably looking like it's gonna try and do something here. But again, just watch out. We're in a downtrend on Bitcoin. We've broken down on the 4 hour. I definitely think 111 is going to get tagged, and yeah, we might get some full daily retraces on some of these alts into the daily 886. So watch out. Nothing too crazy, and yeah, I might. I'm gonna maybe stop it there and possibly put some orders in quite low down on some things. Definitely, if I was like not doing anything this weekend or at home, I would definitely take some of these bounce trades. I really like the Injective and the Sui one. Uh, ETH also looks good. ETH actually looks the strongest at the moment. ETH looks really strong. So yeah. But again, I do think this is gonna come retest a little bit lower at some point. At some point soon, it's got to. Since FOMC market's been pricing in no rate cuts probably until next year. Really, there wasn't even a hint of be happy it's not being hiked. That and the fact we needed a retrace on the chart shows we're in normal mode with added fear. ETH is very strong, but we'll have a fake out before it's rally again. Need 3.2. Yeah, like 3.2 is. Yeah, I mean at least 3.3. At least 3.3. Like it could really bullishly hold 3.3, and that'd be great. But in terms of FOMC, yeah, like that. I'm not really looking at it that much, but I did see that they've gone down to maybe only pricing in one rate cut for the year. I don't know if I believe this. I'm not gonna lie. The economic data for America is really good at the moment. So there there's just a bit of uncertainty about the tariffs because I think we have the tariff date quite soon, right? Maybe in a week. So I think it's just uncertainty. I think when it all blows over, maybe give it another month or two. I think they're going to be back in like rate cut. I think it's going to happen this year. Obviously, we're in the area of speculation now, but I mean, the growth's fine, unemployment's good, everything's better than expected on the economic data. It's just the tariffs which are very like it's just causing too much uncertainty. So they're flip flopping on should we rate hike, should we not? I still think it's coming this year. I just don't. They've no idea how it affects stuff. Yeah, but they've also said Inflation is rising slightly again. Yeah, that's because the money printer's on. The money printer's on. So I just think you're right. It's the tariff uncertainty. I think it's less uncertain now. It's less uncertain now than before at the start of this year because I feel like the effects are not as bad on inflation as they thought, and a lot of countries, as what I was saying. I remember saying to you guys, I was like, look, all these tariffs are not going to come into effect. All these countries are going to come make deals, which is why I talked about Nike, because I said Nike aren't going to want fucking Vietnam to get a massive tariff. It's going to completely ruin their business. They're definitely going to cut a deal. Like, a lot of these countries are obviously cutting deals already. So yeah, all the fear was just a bit too much. Again, that's what dictates rate cuts. So no rate cuts this year in my O. I think we definitely will get one. Definitely. There's no way we won't get a rate cut this year. I just think it's just a bit uncertain at the moment. For me, um, it would be it would be strange if we didn't get any this year. I think the GDP's fine. GDP's better than usual, better than expected, right? Am I wrong in saying this? Employment's fine. The economy's good. It's just the tariff uncertainty again. And also, they're getting loads of good deals. They're getting loads of good investment. So, what Middle East? They got a really good deal. They're gonna get a good deal with the EU. They're gonna get good deals with everyone. They got a good deal with China, right? They're gonna get. It's gonna happen. It's gonna be fine. It's just like it's just the uncertainty, and it's just obviously we still got a couple wars going on. But anyway, yeah, I know you're not bearish, bro. I definitely think we're gonna get a rate cut. But like you said, you're right. Markets are pricing in potential tariff effects, potential no rate cuts in September. Because I feel like the general feeling maybe was that we're going to get a rate cut in September, especially with all the data that just came out. The GDP is really good, employment's really good. But yeah. Anyway, we were at resistance anyway, so all this data doesn't really matter. We literally talking about this what two. If you go on my YouTube, if you go on my YouTube videos, we were literally talking about potential pullback a week or two ago, right? Hold on. Yeah, since like 15th of July. Oh, I'm getting a bit of lag. Look at the title. Like, anyway, you guys obviously believe me. Q1 at 13.5 area. But yeah, you can see like the titles on my videos. Waiting for pullbacks. Pullback question mark. You are in the resistance. Alts at res. Pullback time question mark. Pullback and patience. Like we've, you know, I don't believe you. Hey, he's a joke, man. But yeah, like you're right. All the data is just causing it now, but it was all over the charts a week ago. To be honest, it's just like you see the signs, but you don't have the confirmation until you break below. That's the only thing with trading. So sometimes you kind of just have to take the hedge. Like for me, like I just took the hedge because I was so long from the start of July. But I didn't short anything, to be honest. Probably should have called like one short at least. For sure, we all wanted the optimistic outlook too. I mean, yeah, it was looking good. It was definitely looking good. It'll come for sure. I'm very, very confident that we're going to get a very, very bullish end to the year. I'm I'm not 100% that we're going to get a rate cut, but I personally think we're going to get a rate cut. I think the economic data is good. I think the tariffs, it's just uncertainty. I think some are going to be bad, some are going to be good, some deals are going to be made. I think America's going to come out on top. Everything I know about Trump is that the guy makes fucking deals. The guy makes shit happen. He's gonna make shit happen with China. He's gonna make shit happen with the EU. He's gonna make shit happen, and the deals are gonna be better for America than they are for the rest of the world because he's in the position of power. So this is what I was talking about when the tariffs were like first we were talking about them, and I was like, countries are gonna want to make a deal. They're not gonna want to fight against it. He leverages people. It's so clever. I live in London. Everyone hates Trump. I'm like, look, this guy's a fucking genius. He's using a form of non militaristic power in the form of tariffs to have leverage over other countries and make better deals for them. It's honestly it's genius. It's genius. It's genius to get what he wants. It's slightly bullying, but he's doing it for the American people, and it's just smart. It's great. We need someone like that in the UK, man. Honestly, we've been getting shafted for decades, for years, and never in doubt. Honestly, never in doubt with Trump. Most of the countries have massive tariffs on the US. Yeah. Anyway, even if America slaps a fat tariff on their country, they need to make a deal for their own economy. So if they fight against it, they're only shooting themselves in the foot. So initially, all the talk about, like Canada, we're not going to give this up, or China, we're not going to give this up. It's all just a front to make them seem not weak. Eventually, they're going to have to make a deal. Always has been. Yeah, it's just we've got nothing to worry about. Anyway, no one's even worried anyway, so yeah. Anyway, rant over. Uh, I was. If there's one thing, like, I don't know much about the economy. Like, I'm not an economics guy. But one thing you can talk to me about is politics. Because I did study that at uni. So when we were talking about the whole, like, politics of the tariffs and stuff like that, I was just not worried at all. Everyone was super scared. Like, everyone was asking me, like, oh, it's so bad. We're getting such. The stock market was dumping. I had all my normie friends being like, this is so horrible. And then, like, I just wait 3 months and, like, GDP higher than usual, unemployment low, stock market all time highs, bang. And then they just move on to the next fucking bollocks thing that all their propaganda, fucking, all their propaganda viewpoints are talking about. And they just forget about all the fear that they had, like, a few months ago. It's just like, oh, so dumb. They're so dumb. They're actually so dumb. They're literally that NPC meme. NPC detected. Opinion rejected. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, I think we should leave it here for this weekend. I'm gonna go enjoy possibly my last weekend in Japan. Probably, possibly. I don't know. I can't commit to it. Anyway, thank you for joining in. Uh, touch some grass tomorrow. Uh, and yeah, there's definitely some opportunity for a little bounce. All in all, I'm waiting for a little bit lower to go in heavy again. And yeah,